Hello everyone, my friends, family, and followers, bros and emotos. I'm back. Welcome back to my show. Today we're going to be talking about Kaze ga Tsuyoku Fuiteiru, aka Run with the Wind's 9th episode, Mismatched Runners. As we remember last weekend, there was a little bit of a happening where Kakeru literally told Prince to leave the team if he does not improve his times. This 9th episode actually starts with that scene again, just to reiterate how sobering, how brutal it was that he said that. After the beautiful OP credits beautifully roll on through, we see the JoJo twins talking with Prince and Haiji that's next morning about Kakeru's incident. Prince, for one, could not sleep. He felt very bad about it. He was up all night thinking about it because it was probably weighing on his mind pretty hard, as well as the fact that he likes to read manga, so he was probably reading manga, maybe even on his treadmill, who knows. And Haiji is very clear to the JoJos not to tell anyone about what happened. Obviously, it's a very dramatic thing, so we don't want to make this into a high school drama. Prince is worried about what he heard from Kakeru, but Haiji kind of reassures him, telling him about how he's improving his times. And he told Prince about how he loves running with him. And he meant it, because here's the thing. There's some sort of flashback where Haiji's actually doing what appears to be physical therapy in a medical facility. He's trying to walk along horizontal bars, and this might be a little bit of a foreshadowing here. Maybe Haiji is ill. Maybe he might still be ill. Maybe he might be recovering. Point is, because of this experience that he might have had in the past, he is re-experiencing the excitement of running. This actually makes Haiji feel appreciation for what he loves doing, which is running. Prince also kind of returns the conversation by talking about a metaphor with manga and running. And I think what he's trying to say here is that there's a rhythm to running as well as a rhythm to reading manga. That was my interpretation. Funny enough, at lunch, the JoJos tell Yuki, Musa, and Shindo about what happened already. Tells him, hey, don't have any weird biases and don't tell anybody about it, okay? Just like Haiji said, oop, oh, wait, what, He is a legend. Look at this guy. He is walking 12 kilometers an hour, roughly about 7 miles per hour. Reading manga. Hey, at least he's doing something. Nico-chan is being chased by Haiji through a beautiful flower field. He's carrying that lunchbox again. It apparently does not look good for a grown-ass man to accept a lunch from another grown-ass man. I think it's kind of cute. Haiji could tell that it was Nico not eating lunch, so that's why he's hunting him down. What he hands to him is quite funny. It's literally his face as a design of the rice. How adorable. And practice is looking excellent. Everybody's improving, except for Kakeru. He's actually looking at a timesheet here. He sees that his times are not improving. Haiji will be debriefing these guys, announcing who will be going to the next meet, and the JoJo's twins, Musa, Yuki, and Shindo will be the ones who are running. Kakeru is infuriated. He stands up, and they exchange glares. And we see that the next big track meet they're going to is at Kansei University. The JoJos make a very interesting point about how when all team members wear the same uniform, it makes them look strong. And this is very true. My high school and cross-country coach made sure that we were always wearing our uniforms, because it does make somebody look very strong. Kakeru is thinking about his argument with Haiji from probably the day before. I see that you do not understand what running is about, and this is another foreshadowing. I do believe that Haiji might be ill. He might have been ill in the past. Running is what made him really appreciate life again. Yet another foreshadowing point. The guys have an awkward moment with Kakeru, saying he's an underclassman, talking trash about others. Kakeru says to Prince it was in the heat of the moment. Don't know if I could say this was an apology, but he did acknowledge that what he said was a little bit mean. Prince mentions that he could not believe that they were watching a track meet right now. He never could have imagined this about a month ago, which I think might be another foreshadowing point here. As well as this right here. Haiji looks down at his watch and something really strange happens. His vision gets blurry. There's a little bit of a bass drop kind of sound, and then he pauses before the start of the race. Very interesting what's going on. I think there's definitely something wrong with Haiji. So the race starts. There's one thing I notice about this show is there's a very odd amount of CG in some of these races. It's a little bit uncanny. They make some of these runners look like sticks. Everyone is doing surprisingly well, by the way. Some of them might actually be on pace for the queue. Kakeru is deeply involved in watching his teammates here. And what's going on is he's having some flashbacks to the finish when he was racing right next to Fujioka. And what I think is happening here is he might be saying lead them, reading his lips or something like that. The pace of the scene really picks up. Everybody is cheering, especially Haiji. Haiji is going crazy. His arm is spinning around like a windmill, and it is absolutely insane. Kakeru initially gives into the cheering very loudly. This is where his tsundere personality comes out, and Prince is just back there like, And I will say, this is an absolutely beautiful scene. You see Kakeru really starting to get involved in his teammates. Very beautiful scene. And then the scene ends with the bell lap as it fades out after the race. Unfortunately, nobody had actually hit the mark, but they did learn a lot here, especially Kakeru. Musa thanked Kakeru and Prince, and Kakeru is embarrassed about it. And what's really interesting is he smiles here. He smiles at the very end of the scene. I think we're starting to see some character development here. The guys all come back to celebrate. They have their dinner, they have their drinks, they get drunk, they have a toast. Kakeru and Haiji have their end of episode talk as normal, and Haiji asks if he saw anybody half-assed. And he was pretty serious when he said this, because he's testing Kakeru to see if he's really understanding what it means to be on this team and what it means to run. And Kakeru does understand. He was pretty disappointed to see that they missed the time, they didn't get the cue. But he was very happy to see how everybody did. He was also very enthused of all the cheering and the team morale, but unfortunately he still does not think they can make it to the Hakone Ekiden. And in this last scene here, we see that as soon as Kakeru says his last words of the conversation, we see Haiji actually collapsing to the floor. He hits his head on the wall. Kakeru is absolutely shocked. He yells his name, and that's the end of the episode right there. So for this preview here of the 10th episode, somebody's banging on the door, the guys are cleaning up the kitchen from Haiji's accident, JoJo's are crying, Hana's standing in the door looking very upset, and then you see Kakeru sitting by himself. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed that video, and if you want to see more of what I have to offer, definitely subscribe to my channel, like the video. If you enjoyed watching this, go to my Twitter page, @RealCLTOtaku, and thanks for watching.